everybody. How you doing?
Oh,
Me. There's a lot of me. So sorry about the delay. There's two of me right now. I jumped in so the overlay wasn't totally screwed up. Let me just do this. Oh, he's back. Is he back? All right, let me do this. Are we good? We had a we had a quick moment. I think we're good. Are you here?
I am here. Can you
All
hear me?
right. Well, welcome
Okay.
everyone to the much anticipated, long overdue session 16, the beginning of part 3 of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny, a Mechwarrior Destiny actual play run by myself and 4 really fucking cool dudes that I very much enjoy playing games with. And yeah, it's good times. That's really all I can say. People are not where they need to be, so you're just gonna have to bear with me, viewers, for a moment as I fix this overlay. So this guy's got to go. No, wait, this guy's got to go over here. Nope, he's where he needs to be. Hold on. Willow needs to switch with Cyprian. And nope. Oh, no, he's got to go down here. And I think nope, not quite. We're almost there. And nope, not quite. Almost. He's got to go up there. And this guy goes over here. Nope, it's still fucked up. What am I doing wrong here? Aaron's where
is
he
he
needs to
playing
be. I
Guess
gotta
Who?
flip these two guys. All right, we did it. Good job. Super professional game master and streamer, Twitch streamer. Really, I mean, all other streamers base their professionalism off of what we do here at Deerwolf Gaming 88. And I'm just feeling as dandy as can be. Absolutely as dandy as can be. But as is tradition, we are going to go around the table. We're going to have everyone introduce themselves, introduce their characters, and then this week's session is, again, the beginning of part 3, entitled The Sky is the Limit. You can let your mind, your imagination drift and waver as you see fit. But the actual session name is if you know me, if you play games with me, you'll know this. It's Union This. And it's just kind of a thing that I say about anything that people say is just something this. And you know what? They might be trying to take a dropship. I don't know. But in the meantime, let's go around the table. Everyone to introduce. We're going to go Jacob, Cyprian, Willow, and Callum. Take it away, my friends. Who are you and who are you playing?
Yep. I'm playing Jacob, or Hourly B, as my username is. Playing the son of another character from a different campaign. A mercenary trying to make his not his own way, but make his way outside of his father's shadow. Playing a new character. Hopefully, it goes well.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm going to be Cyprian Devon, who is hoping that he can not get shot like he did last time. But he's out of medbay, hopefully.
Beautiful.
How's everyone? I am Strom. I'll be playing Willow, who is a wisecracking, fast-talking, sort of mech pilot, sort of the leader of the group, sort of a lot of things.
Short and sweet. I like it. And I'm Aaron. I'm playing Callum Van Buren. He's the consummate professional, aka boring character in this game.
A great man.
Absolutely. You know what? He's someone that Cyprian can model himself after. That's what I think. He's someone that Cyprian can model himself after, and Willow can constantly make fun of.
No, don't do that,
make fun
Cyprian.
of.
I'm so lonely.
Oh, God! It's beautiful. But we are going to open our scene. We are actually going to open our first scene in the mech bay of the Stropo. And we are going to see, Dina, Cyprian, and I believe you had requested Callum to be there with you as well. Is that correct? I want to make sure I'm not getting this wrong.
I mean, Callum might appear.
Might appear
at some point.
All right, might appear. And which mech did you want to be modifying? Which one are we taking a look at here? Is it the Nighthawk, the Nightgear? What are we doing here?
We're having a look at this night gear.
Night gear. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip us over to the night gear. We're gonna see Richie. He's having a quick, quiet conversation with Dina. Dina looks not angry. and I want to be very clear with what I'm saying here. She actually has what one might describe as a small little smile on her face, just a slight smirk, and she doesn't look annoyed at Richie. She doesn't look annoyed at Richie, which is in itself, I mean, I would say a miracle. But as you approach Cyprian, you hear Richie going, I mean, I get why they call it, like maybe you painted it black, maybe, but like the gear, like what is that, like some sort of symbolism for something? And she looks at him, and in a deadpan tone, she says, Richie, I have no idea. It's just the name of the mech. What does it matter? And Richie looks at her and says, well, I never thought about it that way. Turns on his heel and proceeds to walk away. But as you approach Cyprian, you see Dina take a clipboard. Looks like she's maybe making a couple of little notes, marking off some things. There's a couple of mech techs working around the night gear, and she just is like, okay, we're gonna need more of the 3C cable. More of the 3C cable. Yeah, that one. And everyone seems a little on edge because she's not yelling at them. But Cyprian, you approach, and I leave the scene to you.
So Cyprian will walk over with like an A4 folder with loads of paper in it and set it down on the couple of barrels that are just sort of slightly above on the where the night gear is parked up, and set the clipboard down, and then open the front of it, and then flick like 10-15 pages in, and all the pages are like covered with random scribbles and equations and bits of maths and random doodles of, scribble out this weapon and add this weapon, and it's he flips open to the one page and goes and with a pencil just like stabs at the picture, like, this is what we need to do. We need to get rid of these useless long range las weapons and need more close protection. And then we'll turn to Dina and look at it. How do we do it? How do we need to get rid of the long las and the medium las. They're redundant. I've got enough missiles to shoot things at range. I need close protection. I'm thinking machine guns and flamers.
As you ask this question, Dina turns to you. Her cheeks flush a little bit, and she does that thing that girls do from time to time where she takes the bangs and she like puts it behind her ear, and she says, I've already started work on it. Are you blind? Or, I mean, look. And you see that the front part of the mech, where the gun emplacements are for those long-range las weapons, there's like holes there. And you see a number of mech techs kind of hanging down. There's a whole gantry. There's some of these like platforms that have been built up, and they're starting to tear out some of those other, weapons. And you can see that they're starting to work. Actually, one of the flamers is already starting to be installed. We talked about this already, Cyprian. I figured you were serious and not just... You did want this done, right?
He'll just flip the notebook closed and be like, well, great. So how many we got? 2 machine guns and a flamer?
She nods her head.
He'll kind of look around, like, okay, well, seems everything I have made myself redundant then.
What do you know about internal circuitry?
Enough. Why?
Do you want to give me a hand in the cockpit?
Why not?
And Dina will very quickly close her clipboard, set it on top of the barrel next, and will make her way over and start climbing up into the gantry, along with Cyprian.
And I think maybe at the most awkward time, that's when you hear the voice, and he's not addressing you guys directly, just the mech techs around, by 2 machine guns and a flamer. What does he think he's going to do with that?
Cyprian, presumably like halfway up the ladder, or going, it's going to be sweet. It's
Why
going to
not?
solve all of my problems.
Sure, but why not 4 machine guns and 2 flamers?
He'll look up the ladder and go, yeah, Dina, why not 4 machine guns and
Because we'd have to drop too
2
much armor, you
flamers?
fucking dumbass. She
No.
shouts down at Callum.
Nope. Wrong. A large pulse laser is 6 tons, right? A machine gun is a quarter of a ton, and a flamer is half a ton. 4 machine guns plus 2 flamers is 1 ton. That leaves you 4 tons for machine gun ammo.
So in this moment, do you have tactics?
Yes, I do.
I would even allow you to roll either a gunnery check or something like that.
I'm also with him, and
I would
have
allow you to
knowledge
roll
of-
it as well. Your DC is a 16, actually. It's a 16,
that's
surprisingly
good.
enough.
It's a lot.
Let's
See what it
let's
is.
roll.
Ooh, damn.
I'm gonna spend an edge. Wolf, you reroll those 2 6s, please.
Okay, first off, roll this. Second of all, fair enough. There it is. All right, I will re-roll those 2 6s. That was a damn good roll. All right, so
It
I
was
got
a
a 5.
fine roll.
Well, yeah, well, there you go. That 16 became a 9. That 16 became a 9. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so you notice that the night gear has... You can see that the mech techs are installing a significant amount of additional armor. More than it probably needs. And you can do with that information as you see fit.
Why are you spot welding extra armor on the front? You're just gonna slow it down.
Yeah, at this point, you're just going too heavy, honestly.
That's a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
You know how Dina
He'll-
looked like she had that
Cyprian's
little
gonna-
smile on her face? You know that like angry Dina that you guys met during like session 1?
Yeah.
That kind of twitch she gets right above on the right eyebrow. You see it starting to twitch, and you can see her grinding her teeth. And as she is just climbing into the cockpit, you can just see her right hand is like gripping like onto the door frame into the cockpit, and it's like white knuckling it.
And I think since Jacob doesn't know about this, Callum's just gonna sort of lean over and be like, "All right, get ready to duck."
Cyprian's going to climb
Get
down
ready to
from
what?
the...
Yep.
Duck.
Cyprian's going to slowly climb down from the ladder.
As Cyprian's coming down, a wrench goes flying towards Callum's head. You
Just
duck,
duck.
and it's a
He's ready
clang,
for
clang,
it.
clang, clang. It's your job to fuck him up. It's my job to put him back together, you stupid egg-headed son of a... And she just goes on a complete tirade about how you are just, a glorified, idiot that can push buttons, but you don't understand the beautiful intricacy of what these mechs mean and all of this. And she just goes off. Just goes completely off on you.
Cyprian's going to wait for her to finish and then be like, yeah, turns out I don't like Mad Bay. Really
Yeah.
don't like Mad Bay.
Okay.
We should
does?
let them keep spot welding the stuff.
Oh. Yeah,
But
she'll put you
what-
back in there. No, we should leave.
Literally, Willow walks from around the corner because it's his favorite thing to watch Dina tirades. So he does that in his spare time,
Yes.
and he walks around and goes, Mad Bay wasn't so bad. The food's pretty good.
Workload's even better, right?
One of the mech techs pipes in. Hey Dina, I mean, they're right. If we scrap these 2, and then you hear another wrench go
Oh.
flying.
And
Like,
then
oh god! Oh, it hit me in the
Yes.
eye!
just because it's been a while, Callum's just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?"
What? Oh god! My eye hurts so bad.
No, not that.
Oh.
The part before that.
Don't listen to him. Don't repeat it. You're going to go to the med bay.
I can't see. It's all swollen. Oh God, it burns. And Dina's yelling at him right now.
Cyprian's going to like try and usher him, like, let's not make everything worse.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, I'm not the one that got shot up.
Yeah, but we also give her time to like lose all her wrenches or whatever, and then we'll point it out that we can put more stuff on there. Plus, it's not like that thing's going out into the battlefield today. We're the ones.
Sacrifice a little
Up now.
armor.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but
I understand you don't have a lot of experience with the relationships with a person that you like very much.
yeah, I don't tend to work with people I like.
Yeah. That's why we work so well together. But however, she is currently working on something that is meant to keep someone that she likes alive.
Sure.
Yes, Cyprian, it's neither of you hide it particularly well.
Right. Cyprian will like do a feigned shock face.
I think uncharacteristic joke. Callum will say, "Oh, Cyprian, look at this! I seem to have dropped this wrench on the ground," and he'll like just completely double over. Just uncharacteristically mirthful.
Willow looks around. He looks over to Jacob, standing next to Callum, and goes, "Did you understand that joke? I understand. I can put out some weird jokes. Did you get that one?"
Okay, I get it. I don't do jokes.
I mean, listen, practice makes perfect, but I'm going to make fun of you for it.
I
mean,
think Cyprian will
that's fair.
Cyprian
I don't
will
care what you
walk
think
away.
anyway.
Cyprian will walk away while they're having their bit of discussion. Goes, "I'll make you drop this."
See,
Wonderful.
I've been spending time with him. He's
Start
practicing.
flipping the pages in his notebook
It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
angrily.
That's beautiful. And I think that's a good cadence right there. We'll leave this scene to be. And obviously, Cyprian, if you want to add more machine guns and less flamers, you can likely talk some sense into Dina off camera. But she's definitely adding more armor to the night gear in replace of weapons because she is overcompensating, wants to keep you alive, for sure. Callum definitely did pick up on that. Absolutely. But I'd like to leave it kind of open. Are there any other scenes that anyone would like to have prior to sort of the mission briefing where your group is going to be traveling off to an attempt to sneak into and take a Union-class dropship from one Katrina? What name she's going by these days? I don't know, but one of her dropships, a supply dropship, as it were.
I think I'll have a scene looking at my Warhammer, which is nowhere to be seen.
I agree with that. It is nowhere to be seen. But here's
But we
the
can
good
we
news.
can theater of the mind it.
No. You hold on. We got to one of these. We do one of these. And yours, what were you running last time? The Hellhound? It's been so long, I forget.
It was
Last
the Griffin,
time,
wasn't it?
I was
The
the Griffin, yeah.
All right, so you would be.
Peter Griffin here.
Wait a minute. Is the Hellhound Prime? No, wait. Who's running the Hellhound Prime? Nobody's.
Well,
running
that
the
one's
Prime.
that one's mine. That's my little boy.
I'm gonna move this guy over here. We're gonna take this Warhammer. And remind me, what was your color? Was it blue? Were you blue?
Blue, yeah.
Blue. All right. Well, I'm gonna make him blue. But yeah, you see your Warhammer. You're taking a little peek-see here at the Warhammer. And what are you looking at? What's the plan here? What are you doing?
I'm looking pretty much over the weapon systems and the diagnostics on the readout, making sure that all the weapons are powering up, making sure that the fusion engine isn't overloading anything.
Okay.
This thing is effectively a centuries old design that's basically a prototype.
Uh-huh.
And some improvements made to it might have led to certain electrical systems backfiring into the engine and possibly causing catastrophic damage. Hasn't happened yet,
But it could happen.
but it could, and it's important to check.
So as you walk up, you actually will see that Tom, Mr. Gina, he is there with a couple of mech techs, and they seem to be very almost like feverishly discussing what, like, some of the issues that you've just brought up. They're like, how the hell is this thing not blown up yet? I mean, with the extra systems that are on board, this thing should have gone nuclear, I mean, years ago, and yet it's still working. Well, it might be subsection A. I mean, it looks like they rerouted power behind the, and they're just going on and on. And off to the side is actually a character we haven't seen too much of. William Frederick Lambert. He is one of the civilians that left with you from Kentares. And he's just, it almost seems like he's admiring the Warhammer in this one. He's got his hand on his chin. He's got a buzz cut, kind of a little mini mohawk, sides, little mini mohawk, and he's just like looking at it. And you just, as you approach Jacob, you hear him going, huh.
I'll step up next to him and just go, "What's up?"
Oh, hey man, yeah, I didn't mean to be staring. It's just, wow, it's like, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but how did you afford something like this? Like, was it inherited? Did you steal it from somebody? And he like whispers.
Yeah, basically inherited. My dad owned a mercenary company, and nobody else wanted to drive it because it was his. But
you have my condolences on your loss.
He's not, well, he's off somewhere. I'll leave that open because I don't know what will happen to Arnold yet. But yeah, it's I mean, nobody wanted to drive it, and my company commander figured, hey, you have more of a right to it than anybody else does, so you go with it. And I guess we got both me and the mech in the trade deal.
So you got stuck with it then?
You can't. Stuck with it would be a bit negative of a connotation because it's a damn good mech. It's just that nobody wants to pilot basically 2.5 times the price standard Warhammer.
Hey, Jacob.
Nobody wants that.
And Tom walks up and actually interjects. Hey, Jacob. Tom, I've actually been assigned to work on your mech here. I got a couple questions. I'm hoping you can maybe elaborate on it, and I don't want these to come across as rude. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously you've been hired in, and it's just my job to make sure the system runs well, but I'm looking at some of these schematics and the way that this thing is set up, and I gotta tell you, if it was me, I wouldn't allow this thing onto the battlefield in its current state. It seems like it might... One of the mech techs behind him goes, explode? Explode is the term that I would use. Yeah, it might explode. So I guess... Is there something I'm missing here? Can you maybe walk me through some of these schematics, some of these designs? I gotta be honest, I've never seen anything quite like this.
So I have I think it's like the knowledge skill, and I have mech characteristics. Can I make a roll for that to try and explain it?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
All right. It's not too bad, but not too terrible.
Hey, you did it. I rolled a 5. So, elaborate. You don't have to go into explicit detail, but this thing, if I remember correctly, is bigger than your average Warhammer, correct?
Yep. 5 times heavier.
Bigger. It's basically an assault Warhammer, which is pretty cool.
It's not. You're thinking of the other one.
Okay, there's a more.
So we have, this is the 6 dB.
The heavy one.
Yeah, this is basically 75 tons over 70 tons, and it's max armor. Basically, the idea was max battlefield endurance, no ammo, no nothing to explode in it. So he will point out, I get it. What the danger is that the ERPPCs draw more power typically, and that can feed into the fusion engine. However, in theory, or rather in practice, but if something happens, anything's possible, the circuitry routes into the myomer and dumps all the energy into the myomer because the myomer already is set up for assault weight, so it can take more punishment than it needs to. All that current goes into the myomer and dissipates, and it just gets shed off as heat. So in theory, unless all the myomer in the legs gets ripped out, which is, as you know, that's hard to do, this thing will survive pretty much anything. And even if the engine does overload, engine overloads are not the worst thing to try and punch out of. You generally just jet out. It's better than an ammo explosion any day.
He pauses. He looks at you. It seems like he has more questions. And then Tom simply says, I mean, yeah, if I was going to do it, that's the way I would have done it too. Hey, it's your skin, kid. We'll do some basic diagnostics. Anything you want us to look for?
This thing always has a ghost in the targeting system. Just make sure that she's staying in check at this point. That's pretty much it.
Jimmy, Jill, let's get that target system diagnostic going. And then he walks off and starts giving orders. And William is once again looking at it, and he's just musing at this massive warhammer, and he looks back to you, Jacob, and he says, how much fighting have you actually seen?
3 years. 3 years I was in the Chaos March working against basically little pirate bands. But I've gotten into some duels. I've gotten some commendations. I've been out here, so whether or not I can work with you guys, that remains to be seen, but trust me, I've seen my share of battles.
Do you still get nervous? You can see that he's shaking a little bit. Like he looks a little like maybe everything has kind of come to fruition for him. Like he like Cyprian almost died, Willow almost died. Like it's been a little crazy, right? And it's kind of wild.
I mean, I'd be stupid not to be nervous, but I don't let it take over me. I make it a whetstone.
Mm-hmm.
Fear enhances the senses. Fear makes you more aware, or rather, nervousness does. But you can't let that get into here and cause you to seize up.
Yeah, makes sense. That does make sense. Yeah, thanks, Jacob. Is it okay if I call you Jakey? Jake?
Jacob's fine.
Jacob's fine. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, good luck out there, all right? You just stay safe. Stay
You too.
Yeah. He's going to wander off and go talk to some other folks. Anything else you'd like to do here in this scene, Jacob?
I can't think of anything else. I think that went as well as it could have.
I like it. I'd like to pivot over, Strom, as you were walking away from the conversation with everyone. Obviously trying to poke the bear, stoke some fires, as is Strom and Willow's way, I should say. I mean, I think both.
Yeah.
I think you play yourself. It's all good. But as is Willow's way, you go to cross between. So there's like two sides of the bay, and there's this catwalk in the center, and there's kind of like a little walkway in between the two. And as you go to walk through, you see rounding the corner, as this must be a family trait. You see rounding the corner, you see your sister. And she has that look on her face that you've come to recognize that she has something she wants to talk to you about. Something that might be considered important. I don't know. But she is literally blocking your passageway. And as you walk up, she just steps in front and says, "Hey, Willow, you got a second?"
At least a couple, yeah.
Yeah. So something's come up, and I might have to bounce for a little while, and I just wanted to make sure you'd be cool with that.
You're not a Mechwarrior, so I can't order you around. And technically, you're working for us on a contract basis, so I can't stop you.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's was what I was hoping you would say. Could I also ask you a little favor?
Depends. You can ask, but I won't guarantee they'll say yes.
Yeah, could you let Lawrence know that I won't be around?
That's what it is. Yeah. Right. Sure, sis. I'll do that for you.
She steps forward, places a gentle hand on your left shoulder. He's getting a little clingy. And then she will kind of just like whistle, just like a... And then will wander off away from you.
And as she's wandering, I'll say, make sure you take care of yourself and fucking message me at least in the next couple months. At least once.
Sure, bro. Sure. She's going to wander off to God's only knows where. But she wanders off.
And Willow's
Will.
going to go look for Lawrence.
I love it. Lawrence. Lawrence is actually with both of the youngest Mechwarriors, as it were, and I think Yinny's there too. I think that would be interesting. And Lawrence is, if I remember correctly, he had a German accent. So today we will be talking about some of the mech pilotings that we will be doing, and we will
Lawrence.
be going.
Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry-
here.
sorry to
I'm sorry, Anders. That's horrible. It's a horrible impression. Horrible impression. But he is going through some
That's accurate.
dual or trio type maneuvers, and he's working with them. So you're going to walk in mid conversation, and he's talking about normally your lance is going to be 4 people. Occasionally things will go wrong and you'll be down to 2, maybe 3. You need to be able to adapt to an ever-changing battlefield. So he is discussing with them fighting retreat. That's what he's teaching them right now. And you see that they've got little notepads, they're taking notes. So it's more of like a lecture that he's giving to them, and they're asking questions, and Yinny is just there, just kind of watching. Maybe she wanted a little break in her day, but you approach, and he says, now, one of the most important things is that when you're doing the fighting retreat, to understand your surroundings. So, if perhaps there is a valley where you can get in and get yourself cover, that is something you should take advantage of. I'm going to play one of the battle... Oh, hello, Willow.
Hello, Lawrence.
Oh, hello, Mark.
He will lean in and whisper in Lawrence's ear, and my sister's jump ship.
I'm going to ask Anders, how would Lawrence respond to this?
He would not be thrilled, especially if it's being done like through Willow, like done through another person. That seems very off to him.
I can play with this. I got it. All right. He goes, I'm sorry, what?
Sister's jump ship?
She jumped out of the airlock and she's coming back?
More like she's not gonna be around no more.
He drops the clipboard he was holding. He turns to Sam and Bruce and says, you'll pick up the lesson tomorrow. There's something I must do. Very important. And he will scurry off, like run. And he's like, tink, 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 tink. Has anyone seen Villa? Has anyone seen her? And he's just going to start yelling for her. In this
She
moment.
has forgotten the helmet
No.
for the air.
Yeah. Hilarious.
That's better than anything I was gonna do.
I-
I'm just gonna shut up.
Cannot add to that. End scene. End session. Perfect. Chef's kiss. Done. That's beautiful. Absolutely fucking beautiful, Cyprian. You're amazing. But yeah, so he runs off to go and try to find Willa before she leaves. And Yinny is just over there and says, well, I guess this is as good a time as any for lunch. You kids hungry? And Bruce is like, I am. I forgot to eat breakfast. Sam looks over and says, Bruce, we've talked about this. You need to remember to eat. He goes, yeah, but there's just so much to learn. And then they're going to wander off. and
Willow
go
will
get
make
some
sure
food.
to say, always eat breakfast. It's the second most important meal of the day.
What's the first?
Dinner.
Nice. All right, I think that is good. Any other scenes? I don't want to pigeonhole anybody. Any other scenes prior? Okay. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to pivot over to the dropship meeting room. And I'd like to just give you all a little bit of time to discuss the battle plans. So let's say that this is a day or two prior to when this dropship, it's currently burning its way from the star of the system. It's burning its way towards the planet. It's about 48 hours away, so you've got a little bit of time to finalize the battle plan to how you are going to attempt to take this dropship. So I'd like to leave the scene to really those that will be most involved. The Sergeant Major will be there as well. Cyprian will be there too. And then Sam and Bruce, I think, would be there in the background, just to listen in. They're there to help as you see fit, but they are not actively engaged. And Lawrence is obviously there because he's been a pretty integral part, but he's kind of off to the side as well, allowing the four of you to take the lead on this discussion. So take it away, gentlemen.
Right. So again, run me through. So you guys are going to take some kind of land vehicle, whatever we have.
A rat pack.
We're gonna be all right. Pack rat. You're gonna be heading into there, and we're gonna be chasing after you and shooting at you. Right.
Just don't hit any of the wheels.
That's pretty much it.
Or us.
So, no, just to clarify, you're shooting around us, not at us directly. We need to be very clear on this. Do not actually shoot us.
No matter what Lawrence says.
Right. Well, we won't be able to keep pace with the pack rat for long. You'll outpace us and be out of our weapons range pretty quickly.
Well, your weapons range.
Fire for effect.
But all right, I don't know. After that, where should we head to?
Don't get shot.
I say
that's a very good direction.
I say we swing around to the south and hold station there until we get the word that they've silenced the dropship's guns. Once they do, if that ramp is down, we can walk right on that Union, and at that point, there's not a whole lot anybody can tell us to do.
Do we have any idea what enemy forces they have available? I imagine that they're going to send something out to investigate us.
GM, this is the dropship that was supposed to come into like the base that we captured, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
it
they
lands
probably
several kilometers away because there's no good landing area by the base. The base was, kind of hidden, kind of not. And they, this is where they, drop off supplies, pick up supplies, etc. It was a supply run. This is kind of a staging area for the rest of the invasion and the occupation of Kentares.
And so they don't know. Presumably, they don't know yet that we're here and in control of the base.
That is
Would
correct.
that be okay? So,
do we have a map of schematics of a Union? That should be pretty easy to find, correct?
You do.
All right.
It's a giant, just dome-shaped, big dropship, multi-layered. Multiple mech bays. It's what would you say, Callum or Anders? It's what, probably like 20 times bigger than a leopard, or even bigger than that. I mean, they're huge.
It's huge. Leopards are like 1,900 tons. These things are like 6,000 tons.
Yeah.
Like it's
so it's like in a holo thing, right?
Yeah, you've absolutely got one in the holo thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Willow's playing around with it, zooming in, zooming out, spinning it around. He goes, "All right, Cyprian, what the hell am I looking at? Where are we going?"
Here, I can actually put one on the map for you. There you go.
Well, see this hatch right here.
Well, yeah, we know what the front door looks like.
Well, that's where you're going.
It's where I'm talking about where we need to go. That's important. What are we doing to shut the thing down? Where's the engines? What's the control? What's the closest control console?
So,
given that you're in atmosphere, you're not going to want to target life support because that's really pointless. Engine control is on the bottom. I'm gonna riff for a moment here, just because. But engine control is on the bottom left of the sphere, kind of in the east, or sorry, the port quadrant. And then weapon control is on another floor. It's on the second floor on the starboard side.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, there's going to be two different areas. Go for the weapons first, and then go for launching systems. Because you choose how you approach it, but I would suggest.
So here's
So
the
Cyprian's
interesting thing, if I may interject, about the Union. There is a central control station aboard the ship where weapons, flight control, engines, there's a command bridge. There's a flight control, master control, crew quarters. It's at the very top of the ship. But if you were able to get there,
Cyprian's going to chip in and be like, and say that okay, I get your point, Jacob, but why go for individual systems? Why not just shut the entire thing down? It's on the ground. It's going to take a while to reboot, but as long as we've got it, we have time.
And if they're offloading, if they think this is a supply run, before Jacob and I give them something else to worry about, those engines will be cold, and it'll take them a long time to start back up to a point where they can burn.
Sergeant Major pipes in. I'm sorry, go ahead, Cyprian, please.
Cyprian's just going to like zoom in on it and be like, we just need to wait until its heat signature dies down, and then we set off with the pack rat.
Cyprian said,
as long as it's cold, it's going to take a while to get back up again.
They're not expecting resistance.
What is a while? How much time do we have once they start their engine sequence?
Hours.
Oh, all right, great. It is quite a while.
Yeah. When they're on the ground, they're meant to be a staging area, a field base. They don't have the same capability to react rapidly like a leopard does.
Great. All right, so then what are the supplies that we have here? Do we have any IF units that show us as friendlies?
Oh, I know we've got some uniforms.
I know you have some plot points.
Yeah, uniforms and IFF should be relatively easy to change the signature on.
I'll give you a plot point. I'll give you a plot point and just say that there was a pack rat that was just used for in the previous base that is in their colours, that was just used for getting from the base out to the generator compound and back again.
I will accept your plot point graciously.
We just get in their own pack rat.
Love it.
It already has their own
Love it.
IFD signatures. We have some nicely bloodied uniforms that we can put on. It shouldn't be too hard to feign injury and get on board. Medbay is pretty close to the top of the crew quarters and flight control.
Bruce is kind of fidgeting, and Lawrence looks down at him and kind of gives him the stop fidgeting look, but he looks like he wants to say something. And really, from the perspective, I'd say either Callum or Willow would notice that he looks like he wants to say something.
And I think, Callum's not in charge here, so he's just going to sort of make eye contact with Willow, and they both sort of realize what's going on, and he's just probably going to be like...
Yeah, Willow will do the, like...
I know I'm just a junior Mechwarrior. I know that...
Son, don't preface what you were going to say with something self-effacing. Just say it.
I don't think we should tip our hand. Sam looks over at him. Bruce looks to Sam, looks back to the rest of you. I know the plan right now is to make it look like they're running from somebody, but if we do that, they're going to go from being relaxed and thinking that everything's fine to high alert. Why don't we put a bunch of us into the rat pack and then just sneak on board. Once we're on board, we can take it from the inside. And doesn't the element of surprise, isn't that the best thing we have? If we let them know there's enemies here, then I don't know. I'm just thinking.
He raises a good point. They don't know that the base is lost. So if we run over there, they're just returning from the base to be the welcome party or whatever.
I have a question though. Since the last time they were here, was the wall partially destroyed?
They're landing several
They're not-
kilometers,
yeah.
almost like 10
They're not
kilometers
able to
away. They're
see
not even
it.
going to see it because the area around here is not suitable to land a Union class dropship.
I understand secrecy may seem like a good option, but
But we need people in mechs
We
to
need-
enforce.
we need whatever defenses that they have to be focused on something.
Something
If
outside.
they
the
if they
ship.
have even if they have one mech, even if they have a locust, it'll stomp that pack rat flat if they catch wind of anything. But if they believe that we're the vanguard for a force that they have no idea the size of,
They see two
they'll
heavy
scream.
mechs chasing after, one a Timberwolf, one a Warhammer. Then
They'll-
that's the pursuing force.
Yeah, and they'll array their defenses to screen the dropship, and the chaos will make it easier for Willow and Cyprian to get inside
So
because
the,
they'll have enemy uniforms on. Jacob and I will have enemy colors on.
Yep.
So Bruce, the military thinking here, the doctrine that we're working with is that if you approach something as in a stressful situation, then people don't spend the time that they normally would to ferret out what is truth and fiction. They will take what they see at face value and act on the most obvious threat, which wouldn't be something that is running friendly colors.
Lawrence will pipe in. You see, Bruce, the goal is for them to panic. And Bruce looks over and nods his head. Sam kind of like kicks Bruce and goes, "See, I told you, dummy." And Bruce says, "I was just trying to think outside the box. That's what I..."
Yeah. And Willow is like,
It's a good idea.
yeah, that was a good idea. And Sam, make sure that you don't act that way towards your fellow Mechwarrior.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Gives you a little salute. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sergeant Major will pipe in again. Well, lads, seems we have a battle plan.
Yeah,
Such
I think
as it
so.
is.
I'm gonna stick around here, Cyprian. If you could stick with me, we need to go over our route.
Now, just so that I, as the game master, understand, Cyprian and Cyprian and Willow will be in the Rat Pack. Are you bringing anyone else with you?
No.
I love it.
I was
It
wondering
may
if
be.
you might
Oh,
want
sorry.
a tech or something so that
You
they
may. Oh, sorry. I keep talking over Yonders. Apologize.
I was just thinking that they might want a tech in order to possibly get an assist on disabling systems. So I don't know if either Willow or Cyprian are necessarily the best at solid tech stuff. I know Cyprian has a good mech tech base, but I don't know if that transfers over.
Yeah. So I know Cyprian's got good tech skill.
I have knowledge, mech tech, and technician.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I actually Willow picked up one technician.
But even still, it may be more believable that a group of 3 or maybe even 4 prisoners escaped from our holding facility to that that pack rat.
I don't
Possibly
think-
even. Ooh, here's an idea. Possibly even have a dead body with them, like they just ran out and they literally took casualties.
Sam stands
Then
up.
again-
I volunteer to go.
That's nice, but no.
Beautiful.
You don't have what we need, unfortunately.
That's great.
Oh, well,
So
Willow,
Cyprian's
why not tap your sister for this? This would be right up her alley.
Oh, Lawrence, did you find Penelope?
No, I
Lawrence
mean,
doesn't
I haven't
say
seen her.
anything and just glares at you.
The answer is she's not here.
Oh, well, where is she?
Don't know.
Is she coming back?
Probably not.
We're already losing people. What
Well,
kind of
Cyprian's
fucking
gonna
outfit did I
Cyprian's
get
gonna
put
like
in?
step backwards slightly and like look at his feet and shuffle something around. Be like,
she was a contractor.
Oh, and
That's-
she also. To be fair, when we first met up with her, certain words were exchanged and also certain bullets. So,
True.
still, I was beginning to like her.
like my sister, but not me.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, she could kick everyone's ass on the ship, so I understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know you're into that.
You don't know me. It's saucy today.
Well, I-
Cyprian's gonna try and steer the conversation back round to the actual planet at hand.
Yeah,
and be
Mission?
like,
yeah.
Yeah, probably good.
well, what about if we brought Tom along? He
So,
seems he
there's a
seems
couple
like
of
he might be
things.
pretty handy with his fists if it comes to it.
There's a couple of things. One, I don't think it matters how many people or what our cover story really is, so long as it's relatively believable. Two, I don't want to bring anyone that is a non-com into this situation in case things do go wrong. And I don't want to bring anyone who has a larger penchant or just as bad a penchant as talking as I do. I can at least rely on Cyprian to stay quiet.
Fair enough. It would be good to have one voice for the group. Just because then there's only one story you have to keep straight.
Plus, Tom's kind of an idiot.
Cyprian's going to stand with his hands on his hips and feign being absolutely cut to the bone at that. Tom is a fantastic mech tech.
I didn't say he wasn't. I just said he was an idiot.
GM, how long until the dropship gets here?
Roughly 48 hours.
Well, Callum, I think, is actually going to head out and begin just making sure that his mech is armed and loaded and ready, just in case they get here early.
Yeah, I love it. And you are welcome to do that. Anyone else have anything else they'd like to
So-
do?
Willow, sort of uncharacteristically, but maybe only because he's never been in a situation where he is intentionally walking into a hornet's nest.
Mm-hmm.
He is making Cyprian stay with him at this moment to go over meticulously the route that they plan to go through, and then is going to meticulously go over to the pack rats that are here, make sure that there is like uniforms, sidearms, everything that should be in there, with the action and food stuffs to make their cover story as believable as possible.
As Jacob presumably will go off to do the same as Callum. He'll like Cyprian will sort of grab his arm and just be like, "Hey, look, I know you've not been here for that long, but don't Please don't shoot us.
I'll try not to, but
Your combat
I'll
record
be
says
shooting.
you're an excellent shot.
Mhm.
Miss a couple of times. We won't
I'll
count
be
them.
aiming to miss, but I always leave room for error. Then I'll be very happy when things go according to plan.
So, over the next 2 days, the rebels of Kentares arrive, and they actually start to gather some of their supplies. And it's a very cordial greeting. They're extremely grateful. You see that Yinny ends up talking with their commander about the potentiality of some additional contracts to help with the liberation of Kentares. You hear a lot of things like this is just the first step, and the prince is alive, and he has a group that is fighting actively against Katrina, Catherine, however you want to call her, and just maybe some plot threads that you guys can follow at some point if you so choose. But what is perhaps disconcerting is the afternoon of the second day, the captain of the Latropo, can be heard aboard the Stropo screaming her face off. I'm like, who the fuck was supposed to be watching it? Where the fuck is my ship? What the hell is this bullshit? What do you mean she flew off with it? And she is losing her mind in this moment. I'd like to know, who would like to be involved in this moment?
Willow will absolutely 100% scuttle away.
Beautiful.
And quite literally.
Um, I'll go check it out.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
I love it.
Cyprian will be there. He's always wanting to
Yeah.
be the middleman in tight situations of people yelling at each other. It's always a good place to
Absolutely
be.
brilliant. So, you see Captain Upshire is doing his damnedest to calm down Captain Marybeth. Because based on what you're hearing, somebody stole her dropship, flew off with it. It's gone. Disappeared at some point during the night. Why no one realized it? That remains to be a mystery. But there's only one person missing right now. A certain Willa and a certain dropship. So we're going to pivot into the... And why the hell can't I find it? I know it's in here. Meeting room, bridge. No, bridge. Dropship bridge. There it is. We're going to pivot over to the bridge. Oops, wrong dropship. My bad. My God, there it is. Bridge. All right, cool. Where you'll see that there is a Yinny. There is a Captain Upshire. There is a Captain Marybeth. And she is just losing her fucking mind right now. Because her dropship was stolen. And she wants somebody to answer for it. So, yeah, you walk into the middle of this, and Upshire is like, Marybeth, we've been flying together for years. I know, we'll get it back. I promise we'll get it back. I don't know why it was taken. But I'm sure we'll get it back. And Yinny is just like, just kind of doing one of these, like, half watching, half not trying to, like, not pay attention. And the good old Esme is, like trying to cover up her mouth because she finds it funny. And Marybeth catches out of the corner of her eye that Esme's laughing, and she points over and goes, "You fucking lawyered up cunt! I will rip out your fucking eyes!" And Esme's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. It's just like, who loses a dropship?" And Marybeth says, "You son of a bitch!" And like goes to dive at her, and Upshire catches her, and then Callum, you can obviously jump in.
What is going on?
That fucking bitch stole my dropship.
Who?
And
Have
how?
to be more specific.
Yeah.
I don't know how she stole it. Somebody was supposed to be watching it. I thought it was being watched. And she's just like,
Well,
she is
Cat-
so angry she cannot formulate words.
Captain, please don't take this the wrong way. I know it's a bad time, but the person who is supposed to be watching your dropship is you.
I
So can I ask, Captain, where were you
I,
when your dropship was taken?
I,
Because I was here. The other mech warriors were here. Captain Upshire was here. Yinny was here. Esme was here. Were you here?
I would like you to make a negotiations.
I can do that.
And this is to pick up something very subtle about one Captain Mary Beth. You've got an 11 against my 9. Mary Beth, her anger feels a little misplaced right now because she knows it was her responsibility, and there's something she's not telling you because she's not answering the question of where she was. She responds to your question. I thought this was a professional mercenary company. Shouldn't we have guards? Shouldn't we have people watching our equipment? I thought when I signed up to this outfit that I wouldn't have to babysit everything every freaking 2 seconds.
Captain, you signed up as an independent contractor. You and Captain Upshire both wanted full discretion over who was on your ship and when.
Esme, you hear Esme, like grab a binder and says subsection 4.
No, and Caleb's just gonna wave. Like, don't.
Oh, she closed it. What am I?
Captain, would you like to discuss this in the wardroom, perhaps, with Jacob and I?
I think that would be a perfect point for Cyprian to just sort of wander in and go, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
And Cyprian walks in. Hey guys, what's going on? Mary Beth looks over at Upshire. Upshire is just like, and Mary Beth says, I need some air. She is going to attempt to storm out.
And I think Callum's actually going to put a hand on her shoulder as she tries to move past him and say, Captain, we're in the midst of a secure operation, and you're holding something back, so I'm going to have to insist that we speak in the wardroom.
Upshire looks uncomfortable. Mary Beth looks sweaty. She looks very sweaty. And Callum, you notice for a split second that her eyes dart down to her sidearm. And there's that, like, moment of silence where you could hear a pin drop. Jacob, you notice this as well, being as combat trained as you are. Cyprian, you've still got your question hanging in the air of what happened. Also, Esme's giving you that look that she gives you occasionally whenever you're around each other. So that's a thing. But what do you do, Callum? What do you do, Jacob?
I'm just very quietly under, as almost like a whisper so that it's not audible to everybody in here. He's just going to lean into her and go, I really wouldn't.
Yeah, Jacob will back him up and just kind of like be as menacing as he possibly can.
Cyprian
Silent.
will kind of see the tension and go and just sort of clap his hands together and go, well, I'm sure if we all just popped along to the wardroom and had a nice sit down cup of tea and a chat, we can get all of this sorted out. Won't take 5 minutes.
She screams, reaching towards her sidearm. Glory and honor to Katrina. And she draws her sidearm, but there's plenty of time for you to react, Callum.
Excellent.
Can I
And
also?
Jacob too, I would
Absolutely.
hope.
You
Yeah.
guys see it coming. She's an older lady. She's not that fast.
All right.
So just small arms or just a reflex flat?
Whatever you guys want to do. If you want to do small arms, that's fine. You just tell me how you want to handle this, because you guys picked up on it. Like, you've got the drop on her, even though she's trying to get the drop on you.
Yeah.
Upshire looks completely like, what the fuck is going on? Yinny's going for her gun. Ezume's like diving towards Cyprian to try to get protection.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive my.
Cyprian is diving behind the nearest piece of metal.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw my sidearm too,
Yep.
and yeah, let's see how this goes.
I think I got an auto pistol. So.
I've got an auto pistol as well.
Ooh, is bipolar roll.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty okay though. I mean, that's still 16. It's a 14.
You have a +9? Good God.
Yep, small arms.
Give her a. Well, let's see her make her skill check. Oh, Callum. So as you go to draw your pistol, she grabs your wrist, pulling the gun as though she's about to like shoot you in the stomach. Jacob, you see it happening, and where do you shoot her? Are you shooting her? Are you just knocking her out? What are you doing?
I'm absolutely shooting her, and it's gonna be the classic Mozambique drill, 2 in the chest.
One in
And
the
then
head.
he'll follow up one in the head.
Yeah. So there is a split second, Callum, where you see, and I assume at this point you're probably not wearing any armor, so you're about to get a bullet in the gut, and it's gonna probably kill you. And then you just hear a pop, 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 and you watch as the gun goes limp, and Captain, the good Captain, the good Captain Marybeth collapses back. Yinny shouts, "What the fuck is going on?" Upshire looks over and says, "Marybeth!" Ezume is crouching next to Cyprian, like trying to hold on to his arm. And there's just that ringing in your ears because you just fired a gun inside a closed space, metallic space. So it's just like a like that, like kind of like buzzing sound, like tinnitus. Mop, mop. But yeah, that just happened.
And I think Callum, still with his sidearm, is actually going to put it on Captain Upshire.
Upshire puts his
And
hands up.
say,
I'm not with her. I had no idea. I promise I had no idea. I didn't realize she was a sympathizer. Whoop, his hands go higher.
you flew together for years, though. You just said so yourself.
We did, but I didn't know. I promise I didn't know. I didn't know. I did not know. Fuck Katrina, fuck Katrina Stiner, fuck Catherine, whatever the fuck you want to call her. Fuck her.
Okay. All right, Captain. But all the same, and he walks over, still got the gun on him, takes the captain's sidearm.
He does not resist.
All the same.
Understood.
It's a tense moment right now, and he'll sort of motion for him to put his arms down. He's put his sidearm away.
Slowly lowers them, but still kind of keeps them up.
And all he does is remove the magazine and rack the chamber.
Mhm.
And he hands the empty gun back to him.
Yeah, Willow runs into the room because he heard gunshots.
Yeah. There's a dead Marybeth. There is a Captain Upshire. There is an Ezume trying to, like, basically gripping onto Cyprian's arm. And
Cyprian's kind of doing that thing where he's like, "What? Get off me!
Oh,
Get
God,
off me!
I don't want to die.
I need to find
I don't want to die.
I'm never going to find out what happened here. What was going on?"
Oh, God. And she'll finally let go. But Willow,
What just happened?
you get a little ping on your little personal data pad. A little like.
Yeah, I'll pull it out and like glance at it, but also like paying attention to the room.
It is a message, a video recording from Willa.
So since it's a video recording and I don't have the time to look at it right now, just gonna go.
You put it back. Perfect.
So What happened?
Well, your sister jacked Mirabeth's dropship.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I wasn't here.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, she's also a Mirabeth was.
Cyprian's
Blood
going to
Straight
jump
up.
up from behind.
bullet wounds in her chest and head.
Cyprian's
She
going to
was
poke
a
up from behind the
Steiner
metal. and go, She's
sympathizer.
goddamn terrorist.
No, that's not being a terrorist. That's being a sympathizer. You should know what a terrorist is. We did a bit of casual terrorism back on Robinson.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Jacob
Willow knows what he said.
rubs his eyes. What the fuck did I get put with right now?
It was accidental. A little more explosive in that
That
room
makes
than I thought.
better. I'm relieved.
Oof.
So
So what about him? He points at Upshire.
Hands
He's
go
okay.
back up.
no, he's
No one's
he's
pointing
okay.
a gun at you. Don't worry, we're not going to shoot you.
Okay.
I assume there was a good reason that this happened, right?
She
Well,
drew a gun. I drew faster.
Okay, good. Great shots, by the way. Good grouping.
Thank you.
yeah, I think your sister might have known something we didn't, like she usually does.
Or she was being an asshole and stole a dropship. That's entirely possible
True.
too.
Also, now that that's happened, if we can't take this union, we don't leave this planet.
Yeah, I know. We have to put him in. We have to arrest Captain Upshire.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
We
Says
can't.
Captain Upshire. Wait, what?
We need to verify that he is at least a sympathizer. I mean, granted, listen, your political beliefs don't really matter too much. We just need to make sure that you're not going to be a danger to the company.
Also, we're not a legal entity. I think the proper term is detain.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, look, Willow, you're in charge here, but for whatever it's worth, I don't think he knew.
Yeah, listen, Upshire, for what it's worth, I don't think you knew either. We just need to make sure.
Yeah, I'll go under whatever you need. Please don't shoot me. And he's looking at Jacob.
You're not going to get shot.
Cyprian's going to ask.
Don't do anything
Upshire,
stupid.
Do you even have a brig?
I'm not going to put him in the brig.
We'll just confine him to quarters.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Besides, there is a brig here. I took a nap in there once. Quite comfortable.
Should I give you my access codes in case you guys need to make a quick getaway?
Yeah, that'd be useful. Yeah.
He is the most compliant, almost overly compliant.
Stop resisting.
Oh God, I'm not. I'll do whatever you tell me. Stop resisting. That's horrible.
Again, nothing personal, and just need to make sure that you're not going to be a danger. We're not going to dock your pay or anything. Contract is still as it is.
And besides, we're probably still going to need you to run that union.
Is this a bad time to discuss a more permanent position in the company? Asks
No, not really.
I think this is
Esme,
probably the perfect time.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to, Esme, could you take him to quarters and have that conversation with him?
She absolutely will. She does give a long, lingering look at Cyprian.
And I think as they leave, Callum's just gonna look down at Cyprian like, what is it with you?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Has anybody seen Richie?
So, Jacob, you wanna move this body? You shot it. You got to deal with it.
I'll give you a hand.
You kill
Yeah,
it,
all right.
you move it. Absolutely.
Yep.
I like it.
Whoever
Just like,
whoever shalt it dealt it.
Whoever Sheldon dealt a deal. Oh, that's like 2 or 3 for you today, Steve. You're on a fucking roll, man. I love it, dude. That's so good. That is so good. I love it.
But before you do that, hold on.
Whoever caps it, scraps it.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
That's good.
I got
That's good.
a
That's
video
good,
message
Anders.
from my sister.
That's
Who
good.
wants to see it?
Oh, this is probably the belated explanation.
Yeah, probably. He hands his data pad, his communication device over to Cyprian, saying, "Here, hook this into something so that we can all watch it."
He will take the data pad and hook it up to what I presume would be the large screen
Yeah,
behind
as he's doing that, Willow leans
Yinny.
into Jacob and says, "I'm like an old person with this technology shit."
And as he plugs it in, and it begins to play, it is a image of Willa aboard what you can only see is like almost like a mirrored image of the dropship cockpit that you're in. And she says, "Hey, bro, you asked me to send you a message. I figured now's as good a time as any. By the way, Mary Beth, yeah, she's a sympathizing cunt with Katrina, so definitely watch out for her. I figured since she was, you guys wouldn't mind me borrowing this dropship. I know I said I might be gone for a little while, but I'll tell you this much. I'll be back. Don't worry." And she'll give you a wink, blow you a kiss, and then it ends.
Nah, suddenly I'm worried. Is this what it's like dealing with me? He looks at everyone.
Cyprian
You know what?
will
Yeah, a little.
leave the room.
I love it. 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 And I know we're only about an hour and a half into this session, but I think we do have. Is everyone good to move on to the Union? Because we can get there if you guys want. It might take us a little longer than our normal game time. So does anybody have anything that would hold them back from pressing on? Because I'm good to push on. Or if it's like you might have some stuff coming up, we could actually pause it here and then pick up the actual Union assault next session. It's up to you guys.
I got nothing.
Crack on.
Nothing? You guys are good?
I'm good till about
Perfect.
5:30 p.m. Eastern.
Perfect.
So.
Awesome. Just wanted to ask because the RP took a little longer than I anticipated, which is great. I wanted to get back into these characters, which is wonderful. So the rest of this day goes off without any other random gunning down of people, which is good.
That was not random. That was premeditated.
That was calculated, as it were. Absolutely.
On
Absolutely.
her part, but
Absolutely.
we were acting in self-defense.
Now, here's where it gets a little crazy. You remember that plot point that you gave me earlier? Yeah. I'm spending it right now,
Yay.
but I'm not telling you why. There it is.
Okay.
Just gonna throw that out there. It's being spent.
Cool.
Cool.
That's not foreboding at all.
That's not foreboding at all. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. Maybe or maybe not.
So, GM.
Yeah.
If I give you a plot point and randomly guess the exact opposite thing that you just did secretly, can I undo whatever you just did?
You know what? I'll allow it.
I'm not. Just wanted to know what your answer would be.
I'll allow it. I will allow it. Nice.
Not a chance.
So, we will pick up the next day. The dropship has arrived. You've gotten confirmation. The dropship actually sent a communication, a kind of like, "Are you there?" pulse, very standard. And you're able to respond with it with the correct codes, having all of that information on the base. So, as far as you know, everything is on the up and up. Everything is fine.
We wouldn't have responded to it though.
Oh, you
'Cause
wouldn't have.
we want them to know that or think that we are under attack.
I think we should respond to it.
I guarantee you, I know what he did with that fucking plot point. I guarantee you, I can tell it right. I can tell you right now. He spent that plot point. Friggin' Captain Mirabeth sent them a transmission and fucking told them exactly what we were gonna do here, and they're gonna be waiting for us.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did. I don't know that in game, so my plan is unchanged. But yeah, fuck it. Oh.
Devil's face right now.
I mean, he's like,
seething.
if they've get, if we've guessed to be what the name of God can we do about it? We don't know about it in characters, so fucking like, that's just the thing. Let's go.
Let's go. So we cut to a scene of a slightly damaged rat pack, just a little bit of scorch marks on it, driving very quickly down the road. Driving very quickly down the road. Just hauling ass. Absolutely hauling ass down the road. I'm actually going to go ahead and tint it. I'm going to give a little bit of a, I'm going to actually make it, I'm going to make it red. No, I'm going to make it blue because blue's a good color. And we watch as this thing is just hauling ass down the road. Now behind it, we also see a mad cat hauling ass after it. Absolutely.
Can you halo that model for me?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Go ahead. And what color would you like your halo to be?
Teal, please.
Teal. I got you, brother. Teal, 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 teal. What's a good teal color?
Teal is my favorite teal color.
Does that work? Is that good? You like that? Is that a good teal?
You know what? Yeah, that's fine.
Is that good? Okay, cool.
Yep.
We see that, and then we also see a little bit bigger, not too much bigger. We also see this badass looking Warhammer making its way down, and your color was blue. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. Yep. So we got those two guys, and they are hauling ass, and we see and we hear laser fire. We hear, I think it's pulse lasers. Correct me if I'm wrong. We see those going off. We hear some dog fire. We hear some explosions. We see chunks of dirt getting just exploded. And as we watch all of this happening, we see inside the cockpit Willow and I believe Cyprian, correct me if I'm wrong, dressed in military colors. Now, did you decide to bring anyone along with you?
We definitely brought a dead body.
All right, so you have a
Of
dead
one of
body
the
with
enemy
you.
that we killed. He's like
Very good.
laid out on the back seat.
Did you bring a mech tech?
Willow would have said no, but it wasn't like a hard no. If Cyprian can give him a good reason why we should bring one.
I think it's more plausible if there's like just one of the unnamed mech techs, unnamed background NPC.
Old Georgie Pooh. Billy Bob. The
NPC
Rat Pack
one
shakes, and Billy from the back says, I gotta ask a question. Why wasn't I told the full story of this mission before I was asked to do it? And you can see like all of the hair on your faces, like your hair on your head start to stand up, your arm hairs, as that PPC blast from Jacob's Warhammer hits very close. Like it looks like it might be a hit. From in front of you, out the window, though, you see the dropship weapons starting to power up. And then you hear the radio in the dropship pipe in.
So I'm going to, at that moment, as the radio starts to pipe in, I'm going to lean, they'll turn around and go, pass me the torque wrench.
Mm-hmm. And he passes you a torque wrench.
Yeah, carry on.
All right, gentlemen, time for me to shine. Everyone shut up.
There is a voice. It's a female voice. And she says, this is Captain Ostrid of the dropship Oberon. What the hell is going on?
Captain, sir, can't you see we're under fire from two mechs back there? They just overran the supply depot, and well, we managed to escape, but we took some casualties.
Give me a streetwise here in this moment to see if she believes you. I only got a 10.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Skill check, bonus, submit. Ooh, I got a 10 too.
Well, here's the bad news. You do have to, I believe it's beat when it comes to skill checks. You have to beat it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is it?
No, it's meet or beat.
No, it's
me to
me.
beat. It's me to beat. All right. I was just trying to fuck you guys over. Damn it. All right, cool. So you got it. You did get it. And she says, understood. Put the pedal to the metal. We'll give you as much covering fire as we can. Our mechs are not currently operational, but haul ass, soldier. And
At
Willow,
that moment, Cyprian is going to like smash the capacitors on the radio so that it is not workable.
and as your ship, I need you to give me a piloting check. This is a vehicle piloting check.
Ooh.
Ooh, and if you don't have it, it's just 2d6 plus reflex. Yep.
All right. Well, Willow's definitely driving.
Now, here's the thing. I need Jacob and Callum to make gunnery checks. The better you roll, the less hard it's going to be for Willow to not get hit. So he's trying to roll under your check.
Under? That's a
Yes.
problem because my plus reflex is +8. I have a good reflex. So I'm gonna roll pretty high.
So I will allow you to use your +8 as a -8. All right.
Okay.
So they have to roll pretty fucking shitty for you to fail. We're just doing a little bit of crazy dice rolling here. All right.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect. That is literally a critical success. So we watch as missile fire, pulse lasers, PPCs are just exploding and chunking the ground as you make your way, just zipping. Now, as the two mechs get close, the dropship itself begins to open fire with a myriad of large weapons, pulse lasers, PPCs, LRMs, and you guys start to take a couple of hits. Like, you start to get...
I think we would have stayed well out of its engagement.
You want to stay well out of its
zone.
range?
Yeah.
All right. So then you
We're
guys
only pursuing
stop
now.
before they actually get there, but you manage to get the mission off with a hitch. The front door is open, and you manage to pull your vehicle inside of the dropship, where a number of personnel are very quick. Medical personnel move in. The back side of the rat pack pops open, and you guys see a bunch of Steiners. Correct me, it's Steiners, right? Steiners is okay. I see a bunch of Steiners, and there are military colors in front of you, and they're just checking. They check the bodies. He's like, this man's dead. Get him to the morgue. Or did either of you suffer any injuries? Troops, we need troops outside. We need the mechs up and running. Get them out. Get them out. Get them out. Like, everybody's going crazy, and it's a bit of a panic right now. What did the two of you do in this moment? You are muted, Strom, as is tradition.
As is tradition. I don't think we have any serious injuries. We should be good. Just can we get to the bridge? We have some information about the forces that have been over on the depot.
The gentleman in front of you nods his head, and another man from behind him actually pipes and says, "The captain is requesting your presence. Follow me."
All three of us, or because can those two go to the the medic and get checked out?
He nods. That's fine. Whoever's in charge.
Patch up your wounds.
So you're sending the mech tech away?
And Cyprian.
No, the mech tech. I'll like fake carry the mech tech with me, and like it's okay. I know where I'm going.
All right. So Willow, you are going by yourself to the bridge. Is that correct?
Yeah.
God bless you. All right. So you are escorted, Cyprian and the mech tech. You guys start to move off towards the med bay. I'd like to follow the two of you for a moment. What is your plan, Cyprian? What are you looking to do here?
So, are we being like escorted to the med bay?
There's like a medical personnel that's like that was following you, but then you're like, we're fine. So they're rushing around to assist with other things. You know, you can head off by yourself. I'm cool with that.
So
there's a bit of a panic.
I'm gonna go towards med bay, and then I want to look around for the direction of where, because the whole top section is going to be pandemonium with all the crew now moving from crew quarters down to engineering and the mech bays and everywhere else. So I'm going to wait until it sort of quietens down a little bit, maybe a minute. Wait for the rush of people to go past me in the corridor, and be like, and then turn to NPC 1, and be like, right,
Billy,
we need to get into the the central mainframe. Follow me, and then we'll head towards there via some handily person-sized ventilation ducts.
I like that. I like that. You're going to go into the ventilation system. So we watch as
Yeah.
Cyprian and Billy, who still looks fucking terrified, has this, like, he's turned completely white, which is actually playing up the whole, like, he's just seen combat thing. People are like, oh, man, that guy's been through some shit. But you guys are able to knock out a conveniently person-sized ventilation shaft, climb into it, and start solid snaking your way through the interior of the dropship. You start solid snaking your way through the interior of the dropship. We are now going to pivot over to the dropship bridge, where a fiery red-headed lady is currently standing in front of a very, very nice looking, like, holographic display. I'm talking like if Cyprian was here, he'd be jealous because it is so nice, and it's like full 3D, beautiful imaging. It's like probably like what's the like 4K. It's like 28K. It's beautiful.
It's a 40K TV.
It's a 40K TV. I love it. I love it. It's a 40K TV. That's beautiful. He's got what looks to be a sergeant, or some sort of like commanding officer as well. She's the captain, and they're having a conversation. And then you are escorted in. The doors open, Willow. Then they close behind you, and you find yourself standing just inside. And she doesn't readily address you, but she looks over and she says, Sergeant Luna, I need to make sure that this dropship is protected at all costs. We're going to begin preparations to take off. This site has been compromised. We need to get word to the rest of our forces that we need to bring in reinforcements. Is that understood? She says, aye, sir. And nods, turns on her heel, and starts to walk out and kind of pauses in front of you and just gives you an eye for a second, Willow. Just gives a little bit of an eye, then gives you a curt nod, and then walks past and
Does
exits
his
throughout the
best
door.
Stiner
Salute.
salute.
She says, soldier, up here.
Willow will walk over.
Mhm.
He'll fake a little bit of a limp, but
Mhm.
nothing dramatic.
She gives you a very like half-hearted salute, like a little like this kind of thing. As looking at the holographic display where you see like the dropship in the center, and you see that there are two red blips, and you notice that they're the two other mechs that are outside. It's Anders or Jacob, excuse me, and Callum's mech, and they're kind of, what are you guys doing? Like a perimeter? Are you like taking pot shots from far away? What are you guys doing right now?
I would say, and Anders, you feel free to correct me, we would be not seriously, but probing their defenses on each sort of facing side of the dropship.
It's
Yeah.
pretty locked down. It's pretty locked down. Yeah. But yeah, she's watching it and she says, "You did the right thing, son. You did the right thing in making your way here as quickly as possible. What can you tell me about the forces that we're up against here?"
Oh, they're certainly professional mercenaries, but
Hmm.
you can only imagine who they've been hired by. They hit us hard, fast. They had enough mechs to even take down the King Crab that's stationed here. It's just, frankly, ma'am, sir, it was professional work. They knew what they were doing.
Wow. And tell me, how did you manage to escape?
Luckily, they're not. They weren't barbarians. They took us prisoner. Those of us that did surrender, and was able to manage to force our way out of where they were holding us. We knew the base better than they did, so we're able to use that knowledge to get to the vehicles and get out.
She nods, and there's almost a little bit of this like cheeky smile on her face, and her questions feel very hollow, Willow. She nods. Ah, yes. Wie ist Ihre richtige Name, Siphon? Does Willow speak German?
Willow is going to spend a plot point, and he does.
Oh. Oh, you know what? You know what? Roll me. I'm gonna have you roll for this. I'll let you do it. That maybe you know just enough to kind of fake your way through it. And this is gonna be if she believes you or not. And she
Willow
has
just
just
says, "Yeah,
asked
I
you.
do."
She has just asked you, "Wie ist Ihr rechter Name Seifen?" which translates to "What is your real name, spy?" So here's what I'm gonna give you. You understand it, and I'm gonna have you roll 2d6 plus intelligence plus intelligence. But this will not be an easy check because she does not trust you. I'll be rolling 4d6 on this check. I rolled a 9. You'll probably succeed.
Ooh.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Oh! How do you respond, Willow?
In perfect fluent German that he spent a long time actually learning from Lawrence.
Ooh, I like that.
Because it was a penitence thing. Because he would bully Lawrence a lot, but
Yeah.
Lawrence got back with him by forcing him to sit down and
It's beautiful.
actually learn something from him.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And he said he would say, he's not going to deny that he is a spy. He's saying, well, you already know probably that traitor Meribeth sent you a message, I gather. But I am where I need to be, right here in the heart of your operation. If you knew all along, why did you bring me here?
It's boring in space, she responds in perfect German. And I was looking forward to having a plaything. You hear the two soldiers, as well as the door open back up, and perhaps glancing over your shoulder, you see that there are two soldiers that were flanking this platform. They have their guns trained on you. And the sergeant that had left is now back in, also with a gun trained on you. However, we cut to the Solid Snake duo as they fall through a grating into the engine room. I believe it was the engine room you wanted to go through, or the main control, or the electronics. Where were you trying to go?
Yeah, so I want to go to effectively where they'll keep their primary circuit boards, distribution boards and panels. Effectively,
Katunk,
everywhere that
you fall through, you're in a massive, very dark, dimly lit hallway, and you've got. You know what? You've got your technician with you, old Billy. Was it Billy? Was it George? I can't remember his name. It changes
Billy
constantly.
Bats.
Billy Bats. Old
No.
Billy is with you as well. And you guys both fall, but you get in, and you are there, and it is empty. And what would you like to do?
So I'm in terms of in terms of the map, is that where I am in relation to the bridge?
No, I'm just using it because
Okay.
it's convenient and it's
Fine.
right there. You are on he is all the way at the top of the ship. You're all the way at the bottom of the ship. Here we go. I got a nice token for him. I'm just dragging him in. Here we go. Here's Billy. This is Billy dressed in his little.
No, so where I'm thinking is that their engineering section is at the bottom,
Correct.
but their primary distribution equipment would generally probably be at the at the top, or the bottom of where they have the flight control and crew quarters.
Okay, so that's what you wanted to go
Because
up.
that's
So
where
that's
that's where
fine.
the
You can totally do that.
primary-
So you went up. So let's say
That's
you're
where the main
actually
draw of
close.
power would be.
You are actually close. You're maybe like a deck under where Willow is currently having a very awkward conversation with the captain, Captain Ostrid of the Oberon.
I just want to head towards where their main electrical panel boards are.
You're right in front of it.
I want to have a look at the front of the panel boards and then effectively switch the breakers and flip the breakers on the primary weapon systems to off. Keep the engineering, keep the thrusters and all of that sort of stuff on, so they don't get wind of it, but shut down the power transfer to their weapon systems.
I'm going to have you roll a technician check. This is your
Okey-doke.
first time aboard a Union-class dropship. You got to get better than a 14 to flip the right breaker. Billy looks at you. He goes,
Do I get
Oh.
any assistance from him?
you know what? He'll give you a +2. He's like, I gotta be honest, I've seen the schematics of these things, but I've never been aboard. I think it's that one. Oh, sick burn. Love it. Love it. And you casually correct him. It's not that one, it's the one next to it.
Yeah, so I'll flick the breaker on.
From outside, Jacob and Callum witness as the guns go silent. The captain, along with Willow, looks over towards a panel, sees it flashing, and says, "What the fuck is going on? Who shut off our main weapons?" Willow.
So now I want to. So sorry. Before
Go ahead, please,
finish
please,
that,
please,
so I want to
yeah.
now. I want to also now flick, like turn the breaker for the ventilation systems, like just the general aircon stuff to off, and then the weapons back on, and then something else off, and just generally cause havoc and cause intertripping between the different breakers, so that
Oh
they
my
think
God, I
that
love
there
it.
is an electrical fault somewhere in the main panel.
You know
And-
what? Done.
And do me a favor and lower the ramp.
I'm sure at some point with it like turning off, the hydraulics would just kick out.
Love it. Yeah, the ramp's open. I love that. Absolutely
Perfect.
love it.
So if Willow is on the bridge and you sort of see that holographic display, and you can see like the two enemy blips, you will see the Mad Cat then charge towards the open rampway
Mm-hmm.
as fast as it can.
I love it.
Yep,
And-
same
I
for
love
the
it. You
Warhammer.
two are just charging towards the open ramp.
And
She, who has been messing with you, Willow, looks down at the thing and her eyes, and you hear her go, fuck. And she looks to Sargent, but there is a split second where you can do something.
And he says, "Have you ever heard of a dead man's switch?"
She stops. She doesn't say anything, but her eyes are focused on you now, Willow.
You shouldn't have brought me here. If I die, bad things happen. I mean, bad things are happening now, but worse things happen.
She raises her left hand, and you hear that audible sound of like the guns being lowered. You don't even have to look back, but you hear that kind of like that click. You can hear the straps, and they lower their guns. What do you want? She's back to speaking English.
Well, the only thing that we really want is, and I'm going to be honest with you, since you have the courtesy of being honest with me, we want your ship. We don't really want the supply depot. It's nice. It was fun, but we want the ship.
You realize I can't just give you the ship.
I realize that, yes. And we are prepared to take it, but we would prefer to take it with the minimal loss of life possible. I said before, we're professionals. We're not savages. We're not barbarians.
Very important roll, Willow. I'm going to have you roll a streetwise. This is not going to be an easy check. This is going to determine whether or not this ends in a gunfight, or if she believes that you would actually... I guess you're implying that you would blow yourself up in this situation. That's what I'm getting at. That's what she thinks, at least. No, I don't care what you're implying. That's what she thinks. Here we go. That's a 15.
Oh, hold on. I rolled a 5, so I'll spend an edge to reroll my 2 and 3. And what did she roll?
You know what?
5 and 5?
So I forgot. I meant to actually roll this. I rolled the wrong thing. Hold on. I have a 17.
Yeah. Okay. So let me reroll.
Actually, let me drag the map over. I'm sorry, everybody at home. I didn't mean to not drag it back. Here we go.
should
All right, I can work with a 14.
you want? I can spend an edge to make Wolf reroll the 4, the 4, and the 5.
I can
Yeah,
do
I
that.
think that's good.
I can do
That's
that.
good.
The 4,
Yeah.
the 4, and the 5. I got a 5, 3, and a 4. So I'm still at 2 and a 2. That is
You're
a.
a 16.
I'm at a 16.
Hmm. I've got another edge.
I mean, I do too. Huh. I just wonder if there's a way, perhaps, for Jacob and I to help give Willow a bonus, maybe a +2. And here's what I have in mind,
Okay,
GM.
sell me on it. Sell me on it.
Here's what I have in mind.
Okay.
I think Jacob will take the ramp to the lower mech bay because there are two, right? There's an upper mech bay door and a lower mech bay door.
Mhm.
Jacob's going to take the lower. Callum's going to take the upper. And in all honesty, I think really I'm probably just going to start stepping on people as soon as I get in here. And I want to make as much havoc and chaos and panic.
The radios behind her start going off. You start hearing like screams, alarms. Dear God, they're killing people.
Wait.
We can't get the mechs going. Oh God, they just killed so and so. Willow, go ahead.
Yeah, and says, "We'd prefer it not to be this way."
She looks down. She sees all the data reads out. The woman behind her says, "Captain, what are your orders?" And yes, she is the enemy, Willow. But in this moment, you also see her humanity. Because as she hears the screams and the shouts of her men, those under her command dying, you visibly see her shoulders sink. You know that look. That is the look of defeat and acceptance that you cannot change the course of events that have been presented to you.
I'm going to give you a plot point, and at this moment, I'm going to turn off the breaker controlling the electrical systems on the bridge so that all of her data monitors and everything goes dark, but the only thing that stays on is the emergency lighting.
She looks up to you, Willow. Very well. Stop what's happening down there, and you have my unconditional surrender.
And Willow will, with haste, pull out his thing and say, "Operation's over. Stop. Take everyone into custody. No more killing."
And if you would allow me to take the helm here, as I often do, we're in a bit of a cinematic thing where we see
Wait.
Go ahead, Willow.
Have to interrupt you.
Please.
There's just a scene that popped into my head.
Go.
As Willow does that, just the camera pans down to the bay that is in chaos, and just Callum's mech's foot, just like, and just right over someone crouching underneath it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's brilliant, beautiful. But we see now as that happens, and then he pulls back, and there's a ship-wide announcement that they're like, all hands, like, drop your weapons. We are surrendering the ship, and just do what they tell you. We hear Callum and Jacob giving orders to like file in, line up. And a couple things. Those mech bays, they're not empty. They are not empty. And we're going to talk off screen about what kind of mechs you find. Now they have to be Stiner. Okay, so I'm going to be a little specific. But you're going to get a couple of assault, a couple of medium, a couple of lights, and a couple of heavies.
Was this union by chance carrying a Stiner scout company?
It may have been. It may have been. We'll talk about it.
Anders gets it.
We'll talk about it. But we pan out and we see this kind of sped up like cutscene of them exiting, your troops moving in, the dropship landing, and I think our final scene will be the engines of the Oberon, Captain Upshire in the command bridge with all of you, and we watch as the Union starts to take off. And just as it starts to lift off and the dust is spooling, roll credits. And that will be the end of today's session of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny. And I would like to say and point out that you truly did Union this. Well played, everybody. Absolutely well played. That was delightful.
Dropship that.
So good. You did dropship that. You absolutely did. You absolutely did. So, things are going to open up for you guys. You have more mechs than what you know what to do with. You barely have enough personnel to make this thing work right now. So I think we're going to have to take some time to likely build the company some. But you've also got, this came with a bunch of sea bills with some supplies. Like it's a big ship. You have a big boy company ship now, which is fantastic. And I will present you guys with a couple of different missions that you can look to undertake. But it's really the inner sphere is going to be your oyster at this point. It really is going to be your oyster. You'll have to get this thing repainted for sure because it's ugly as fuck. It's got the wrong colors. But great job, everybody. It was absolutely delightful to be back, and I missed you guys so much. This was super fun. Very impressed, as always. But as I always ask at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap up today's session of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny? Beautiful. Well, as I always say at the end of every session, thank you so fucking much to the players for playing. It's always a delight to be back with you. I'm looking forward to getting back to this more consistently. Thank you so much to the viewers for viewing. Happy gaming, everybody. You'll catch these beautiful people here next week. Same game time, same game plays for session 17 of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny. Until then, be well, be safe, and take care.